Hi, my name is Darren Joseph from HEJ.tax, and we're the team that seeks to demystify that sometimes confusing world of international tax. And today we have the honor and privilege of having a great conversation with Melina. Melina, please introduce yourself.
Thank you, Darren. Thank you for inviting me. My name is Melina Mafridu. I am a German tax advisor and certified advisor in international taxation. So I mainly advise clients who have cross-border issues, private individuals, but also companies, corporations, and so on. Always with the viewpoint of avoiding double taxation and, of course, to give the best structure for my client. And I'm thrilled that we talk today.
Great. Let's say someone moves to Germany and they have their own business ideas and stuff like that. They want to start a business. In other jurisdictions, like in the US, sometimes you would start as an independent contractor, and as the business begins to scale, then you incorporate, and maybe you'd have an LLC, then you move to an S Corp, etc. In Germany, do you normally start like a small business as an independent contractor? And if so, at what point and what threshold does it make sense switching to some sort of corporate structure?
It really depends, especially if someone is coming to Germany, then I would first ask the question, how long do you intend to stay in Germany?
Yeah.
Because as I said before, we have the exit taxation, and living in Germany for 7 years and then moving to another country and having shares in a company will trigger the exit taxation. This is actually my first question. How long would you like to stay in Germany? Because if you intend to just stay 3 or 4 years, I think then it doesn't make any sense, even though your business increases, to maybe go into the structure. It maybe depends also from the sales you are doing. Maybe even though if you would like to stay a few years, maybe it makes sense to go then into the corporate structure. It's kind of, it really depends how long the person would like to stay in Germany. But then, of course, because we have a progressive tax rate, the tax rates are quite high. Yeah. If you are having an income of 70,000 euros, you are already at 42% tax rate, which is a lot. That means that if you're just starting out, having a low income because you also have expenses, then maybe it's good to stay under like being just a business owner with no company structure. But if it increases, then it makes maybe sense to go into the GmbH structure. It also depends, do you have employees? How many employees do you have? What business asset, business type will you have in Germany? If you're starting out and you have 10 employees, maybe it makes sense to start with a corporate structure, because then you have also from a legal perspective a limitation in liability. There are other aspects that come into play, but just in general, if you're just working for yourself and you're starting out with a business and you have a low income, then start out with that, and then if the sales increase, then maybe it makes sense to skip or to move into a corporate structure. I think this is maybe the basic answer to that.
Absolutely. There's so many moving pieces aside from just taxation. And that's why I think it's just always super important to consult the professional like yourself. It's really important.
Exactly, because some people have employees in Germany, and then they have also employees somewhere else, and or they are working with other freelancers, or they have also premises in Germany. So it all kind of depends on the situation and also on the private situation. Yeah, I think it doesn't make sense if you just would like to stay 2 years in Germany to set up a company. I mean, it's maybe a bit too much then, even though you can taxes of 10% or something. It's an individual situation, I would say.
Absolutely. Thank you. Melina, if anyone wants to get in touch with you, what's the best way to do so?
You can find me at LinkedIn, but I think the best thing is to write me an email. I'm always in Zoom meetings and other meetings. Best to contact me via email. And I'm sure you will share my contact details so that everybody has my contacts. But I think that's the best way.
Fantastic.